Using video technology, Master Zheng Yan has traveled to various recycling stations across Taiwan. City volunteers help fire-affected residents clean up their house in Hualien. Welcome to Night Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Using video technology, Master Zheng Yan has traveled to various recycling stations across the island. In Hualien, there are 3 recycling points located at Hualien City, Yuli, and Ruisui. Many senior volunteers devote their lives to do recycling.
The tilting roof protects the recyclables from rain and wind, as well as prevents water accumulation and breeding of mosquitoes. The recycling point in Ruisui Township is located in the warehouse of an iron factory and is benefited from the characteristics of the factory. The recyclables are piled up as high as an average human height, so machines are needed to help moving. This recycling point is about 265 square meters, and the recycling area covers the nearby Guangfu and Fuyuan districts. Volunteers not only contributed their efforts, but also donated a recycling truck.
After my husband joined Tzu Chi, his bad habit hasn't yet changed. So sometimes he's doing well, while sometimes he's not. He told me that he wanted to buy a recycling truck. I certainly support his kind thought.
There are 8 routes covering 11 villages and tribes. Normally, we go collecting recyclables during the day. If there are too many recyclables, we will ask the nighttime volunteers to collect too.
This Hualien Recycling and Education Station has gone through 17 years, yet the dedication of the recycling volunteers towards eco-friendliness remains unchanged. Guan Wenji, who speaks fluent Japanese, is 89 years old. She has been doing recycling for 20 years.
Thank you, Master. I'm getting healthier and more outgoing. It's good to come to the recycling station.
Some volunteers not only do recycling by themselves, but also invite people with autism and dementia to enjoy the fun of doing recycling.
This is my sister who has severe cerebral palsy. Since she came to the recycling station, her body and mind have been improving steadily, and she loves the master and loves doing recycling very much. She always can't stop doing and doesn't want to go home.
4大事业8大法印之一的环保，现在大家是身体力行，开路开道啦，步步踏实。行过来足迹啦，就是要留给后代的子孙。咱一定爱把握咱生命的价值。
Grasp the value of life and do the right thing. Let's walk on the recycling path together to purify the world.
As Tzu Chi celebrates the 30th anniversary of Recycling Mission, it held an environmental educational exhibition at Nangang train station. Through games and videos, volunteers share their environmental concepts with the public. Paper containers and disposable utensils could lead to an ecological crisis.
Children have special feelings towards animals. Animals can touch their hearts. They believe that animal protection is related to environmental protection.
Tzu Chi Foundation held its environmental education exhibition at Nangang train station, offering games and environmental knowledge. Even foreigners attended.
We are not a country like Taiwan or like Korea, but our people, we want to do something. Kindergartens or in the primary schools, they tell children, separate your rubbish, reduce your consumption of meat.
Whether it's marbles or green sea turtles, children like them. The parents also get to know how to embrace vegetarianism and reduce carbon emissions.
Taiwan Railways has dispatched its social media editors, hoping to inspire more people to protect the environment.
With those coming to the exhibition, I can also make small changes in daily life to protect the earth.
This is the first time such an exhibition is held at our Nangang station for the sake of the earth, for us to have a better living environment. Of course, we should come to support it.
At the exhibition, city volunteers work in shifts of 12 hours since 10 a.m., inviting the public to reduce carbon emissions. A Tzu Chi recycling education station in Klang has been in operation for 9 years. During the pandemic, city volunteers have upgraded the hardware and cleaned the recycling station. On a national holiday, citizens have the chance to visit a recycling station, learning that recycling isn't just a one-step process.
开始我们是先做那个油漆然后我们在斋堂那边地上我们也铺了地砖。
The Tzu Chi recycling station in Klang is renovated since the government had loosened its movement control order.
多加了这个就是人文的那个。
We added this humanitarian display area, hoping that when citizens come, we can introduce Tzu Chi to them.
可以让他们来告诉他们，让他们更了解慈济。
While upgrading the hardware, volunteers held a recycling in-house event, inviting the neighborhood to participate.
现在这样分类很好。
It's good to sort like this now. Many things around the early era were thrown into the bin, disregarding the categories, so it's good to categorize recyclables.
瓶子啊，每次我们都是。
The bottles are normally not washed. Now, when I bring it over to you, you process it correctly. We're helping poor people. I feel better, and I hope this continues.
还下去了。
回来的菜啊，头头尾尾啊，我们叫厨余啊 ，OK。 那是色的，那些就可以做堆肥，可以做那个酵素。
The recycling journey has led visitors to understand the importance of purity at its source.
Previously, a Tzu Chi brother had reminded us how to clean the bottles. If we don't do this, the workload for recycling volunteers increases. This is why we have to do our part correctly.
The recycling station gathers contributions from volunteers as visitors learn more about recycling.
Materials that need to be recycled must be recycled. We don't have to keep it in. Because our heart is like a small family, if there are impurities, we see everything as impure, seeing trash everywhere.
Sharing environmental concepts while purifying people's minds, volunteers hope that the recycling station may safeguard the environment and nurture people's minds.
In Shimen and Sanzhi districts, there are no Tzu Chi recycling stations. As a result, city volunteers use their homes as recycling sites to sort the recyclables. Then they'll drive the recycling trucks to collect the recyclables and bring them to Danshui Zhengde Recycling Education Station.
Coming from the side entrance of Danshui Zhengde Junior High, New Taipei City, is the Tzu Chi Zhengde Recycling Education Station. Because it is located to the north, the recyclables collected here include Danshui, Sanzhi District, and Shimen District, the northernmost district in Taiwan. Recycling volunteers gather all the recyclables collected here, but usually they work at their respective recycling sites. Xiao Shulan, the old bodhisattva in Sanzhi, gets her gear at 7 or 8 o'clock every morning and takes bus to her destination to look for treasure.
There's also one here. What people throw away, we pick up.
Xiao Sulan originally planned to collect recyclables from 2 households, but because she was picking up while walking, unknowingly the pile of the recyclables was almost higher than her. The flow shop is one of her collection points. They have cooperated for 20 years.
Sometimes she comes twice a day. I think this is a resources, and the garbage is reduced, and it will be better for the earth.
After a long walk, she finally got home, but the task was not over yet. They will clear a space in their home like a balcony. In this way, such a space will become Sanzhi recycling point.
这边是纸箱的，这边是一袋一袋是保特瓶，跟那个纸类的。
If we sort it out here, it would be more convenient to sort when it's sent to the recycling station.
At least 13 environmental protection points in Sanzhi. Then we walk along the north coast, come to Simen. Don't think it's just a small tin house. This is the northernmost recycling spot in Taiwan. About 7 square meters of space. It shoulders more than 10 years of environmental responsibility.
Someone will bring it here. She will also pick it up and she'll sort out the recyclables.
She should be the one who is more persistent. Most of the recyclables are supported by her alone.
How to intersect various recycling points located in many parts of northern Taiwan into a plan depends on this man. Volunteer Liao Dengfu only takes 1 day off a week. He drives his own small truck and arranges different routes every week to empty the full-loaded recycling spots.
After I get off work on Friday, I will charge 3 places and then 4 the next morning.
In winter, when the wind is strong, we will ask him to remember to cover the net because it is safer. There are only 2 recycling trucks in Zhengde Recycling Education Station, and the other 2 are our brother's own cars. They put much effort on it.
I'll do it until my last breath. I'm willing to give.
This group of people is on average 60 years old. They use their hands in silence to make the land clean, which is the most beautiful picture here.
Starting from September 20th, 4 consecutive Sundays will be the stay-home quote open house. People can sign up to sell ticker and display the finished product.
In order to collect the fabrics for weaving the cushions, Tzu Chi visited the prefabricated houses one by one.
This is actually my first time. Basically, it's very different because you need to explain your project, what are you going to do about it. But after the stay-home cook project, it made me want to know more what the migrant workers have been doing, basically try to care for them more. And I would say how I can contribute basically is to put in even more effort on this art project itself.
Stay Home Crit is a community project through different phases of collective creations to combine the patchworks of different communities in Singapore and to display at Tzu Chi Humanistic Youth Center.
Today's Stay Home Quilt Open House is actually a celebration, I feel, of a journey that we took in the last 7 months to get members of very different community to come in and share their reflections. It's like an end, but it's also a beginning. So I'm really looking forward to having more people to know about the work and join in the participation.
It is hoped that through the workshops and exhibitions of the final artwork, the visitors will be able to share the stories of different individuals of various communities.
In Hualien district of New Taipei City, a fire broke out on the 2nd floor of an apartment. The affected residents organized to burn items, but were unable to move them downstairs. Therefore, they sought help from Tzu Chi. Hualien City volunteers have mobilized 60 people to help with the cleanup. The fire-affected residents have packed the remaining supplies in the aftermath of the fire, but they cannot move them. City volunteers have come to help during the mid-autumn holidays.
The items inside have been burned. The furniture is no longer usable. We've moved them downstairs from the 2nd floor.
At the old apartment without elevators, 60 volunteers and their friends and relatives have come to help out.
I got permission from my father and mother, and then I brought my husband, invited my cousin's husband, and Tzu Chi donating members to help the affected residents. We quickly moved the burnt furniture downstairs.
装潢啊，通通搬下来了。
She was very sad. I invited her to come and clean up the place with us. After doing the cleanup, she felt better.
After moving the debris, the affected residents are surrounded with volunteers' best wishes and will be able to move forward with love. Lighting up the forgotten corners, Tzu Chi volunteers of Cambodia are giving 165 impoverished families solar panels and food. By switching to solar panels each month, they can save on half of their electricity bill.
Walking into this dark home, Tzu Chi is helping this recipient install a light.
My home is dark and without lights. I can't see clearly. I need to turn the light on all the time. I'm so happy I can reduce my electricity bill.
Using solar panels to fuel their electricity, this home is not dark anymore. This solitary senior is also leaving the light on outside her home so that she can help others see the road in the dark.
I'm so happy and now I feel safe. I can light up inside of my house and I can light up the road too. So people riding their bike home can see their way.
Our residents are thankful for Tzu Chi. They have been able to receive solar panels, which helps to reduce their electricity bill in half. They normally pay about 50,000 Cambodian riel. This can help them reduce the bill by at least 20,000 riel.
Tzu Chi volunteers are in Phnom Penh to help disadvantaged families, where each recipient receives a solar panel setup, rice, and a loaf of bread.
We are a struggling family and someone in the family is sick. Receiving these materials helps reduce the burden of the finances. So I'm very thankful for Tzu Chi's assistance.
Thank you, Tzu Chi, for always caring for us and thinking about improving the hardship of the residents. Today is the second time you are here in Chamkarmon district and giving out rice and other materials for the disadvantaged residents.
No matter how difficult their life is, the recipients don't forget to lean towards giving to another. The cycle of love continues to shine brightly here in Cambodia.
City volunteers from the Philippines went to Davao City to host an aid distribution. Unexpectedly, residents brought bamboo coin banks to thank Tzu Chi for helping them during the flood last year.
Tzu Chi volunteers distributed 20 kilograms of rice, as well as salt, sugar, rice noodles, and cooking oil to more than 1,300 impoverished families and tricycle drivers to relieve their urgent needs during the pandemic.
Tzu Chi Philippines Foundation,
Thank you very much for Tzu Chi Foundation. There are no words to express our gratefulness for your assistance to the affected families in Talomo.
In August last year, when Taipei City suffered serious flooding, Tzu Chi stepped in to carry out disaster relief and started a work for relief program. Residents use PET bottles as bamboo cone bands and fill it with cones of gratefulness every day.
The Tzu Chi Foundation really helped us a lot. Looking back on the floods last year, it was also Tzu Chi volunteers who encouraged us to start cleaning up our home.
We're very happy because Master Zheng Yan chose to bless us. This is of great help to us since we really have no income during the pandemic.
After receiving the supplies, the residents finally showed their smiles, regaining hope for the future.
In Malaysia, due to the pandemic, a neighborhood relief program was launched. Today, we take a look at the story of a single mother.
Single mother Siti Nurjihada takes on multiple jobs to take care of a 3-year-old child.
Due to the pandemic, I lost my job. Now I do not have a stable income and I hope everything can get back to normal.
Her life has become difficult. Tzu Chi volunteers distributed cash cards in conjunction with the neighborhood relief program, helping her through this tough time.
Before the pandemic, she was a janitor. She lost her job and she went into delivery service and also made snacks to be sold for her friends and relatives at the same time.
Siti does not need to worry about her daily meals after she received the cash card. She then hoped that she can also help others.
We will take the money from the bamboo coin bank to help people who are in need. This is a cycle of love.
I have adopted this bamboo coin bank and I will put a little money in it every day. I hope that they can help others who are also in need in the future.
As the cycle of kindness continues to spread, Siti Nurjihada has agreed to carry out one act of kindness every day, showing everyone the power of love.
COVID-19 is still present in Hong Kong. A homeless woman is over 70 years old. City volunteers are afraid that if she continues to live on the streets, her chance of catching COVID is greater. So city volunteers rented a small room for the senior.
Living on the streets for nearly 40 years, Miss Gui, who was 70, never thought she would live in an actual home again.
Congratulations on your new home. We hope everything is well. Happy homecoming and health and happiness to you. Actually, our Jingsi products can help you eat vegetarian meals each day. Many blessings to you.
Miss Gui met Tzu Chi during a homeless care event. This year, due to COVID-19, the fast food chain she normally takes shelter in at night canceled their 24 hours business time. Thus, the volunteers were worried if she slept on the streets, it would increase her risk of catching the virus. To help, the volunteers rented a small place for her to stay in.
The volunteers bought me a bed and mopped the floor. They even cleaned it up. I'm so moved. In the future, if they need me to pass out food or other things, maybe I can help.
She has been by herself for the past 40 years. So we want to spread the message to her that there's still love in the world.
We hope she can find her life's meaning once more, and also to visit Tzu Chi events more often to get to know more about the organization.
Tzu Chi in Hong Kong's care campaign isn't just about helping the homeless, but also those like Zhou Shangqun and her son, who are originally from China and don't have Cantonese residency. The home they used to live in was destroyed in a typhoon, and they needed to move to an old apartment building in the city. Tzu Chi brought over some housewarming presents for the two.
Thank you, Tzu Chi volunteers, for your care for me and my son. We're so thankful for you.
Putting up Jingsi couplets, the new house now feels like a home, and the mother and son begin their life anew.
In Malaysia, Johor Bahru Tzu Chi Kindergarten has held a humanitarian event for its graduates. Through video conferencing, the children and their parents share their ways of cooking vegetarian food. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.